Okie dokie, time to start another project. What are we doing with this one? Well, I'm going to build it, and I'm not sure if we're going to keep it or sell it, because I have some cool decals that's coming. I don't even know at this time how I'm going to paint it, because I want to wait till I get the decals to look at the car and see. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get the decals. So, first thing as always, we got to get this bad boy apart. Alright, let's set this over here so we can keep an eye on what we're doing. Handy little thing to have, that way we know if we're getting everything on camera and everything. Because I can see from right there to right there now. So anyhow, this is what we're working on. Again, we're making a gasser. I have some decals coming for this. And I'm just looking it over because I had one that I worked on and the whole front was messed up. Anyhow, I don't know what color we're going to paint this or anything, but we've got to drill it apart and get it in the stripper. And like I said, I'll show you the decals when they come and everything and take a look at them at that time. But I'm just giving a once over to see if there's anything visible that I can see. And I really don't see anything standing out, but that could change once we get it stripped. So let's get it stripped. I always try to include bits and pieces in all my videos in case this is the first time you're watching one of my videos. So the first thing we want to do is oil the rivets that we're going to be drilling out. Number one, that keeps the drill bit cool, and number two, it helps keep the sharpness of the drill bit. And all we're going to do is just drill it out. I like to take the small bit and run it in first. That way whenever I'll show you, that way whenever I go to run the big head in and it takes off the head of the rivet, it actually leaves a nice divot for me to come back with the smaller bit again and drill it out so I can put screws in it. And I can feel it move under my thumb. See? Just like that. Comes right apart. We're going to be changing out the wheels, so we're not going to be reusing those. I'll be painting or doing something to this interior most definitely. And the glass is brand new, so there's nothing we have to do to that. But one thing I do need to start doing is paying attention whenever I do this, because I need to make sure I get my grubby biscuit grabber fingerprints off of it. So here's that. Let's get a container and put everything in it, where we don't lose any parts and everything is safe while we make up our mind what we want to do. Like I said, I'll show you how to pop these wheels out in just a second. They're very easy, but put everything over in that so it doesn't get messed up. Now you can see how the posts are nice and divoted so that you can start, your drill bit has something to go in. But the reason I don't go a bunch to start with is because of that. That is not very deep. Now if you look at it, it will come up somewhere in this area here. Judging by where it is, it'll come up between this front cross member and the radiator. So you know, we need to pay attention to that when we're drilling it out. We really don't want to go up into that. But I'm going to get this drilled out and I'll bring you back after I get it done, because you know, there's really nothing I can teach you about drilling post out. This is something you have to learn. But the main thing is keep everything oiled and go slow. I recommend getting a feel for it by starting with the back, because if you have your drill bit in as far as it'll go, there's no way you'll punch through that. So just start with the back and get used to the feel, and then you can judge how far to go with that. See, if I go to that second flute, I've done went too far. So we can cut the screws, but adding back to the body is a pain in the butt. Alright, got her drilled. Now what I will show you is If you look at this, when you drill the head off, sometimes it leaves that bit right there. And you don't want to leave that. You want it to be nice and flat. So when you put it back on the body, I mean, it won't really affect anything. It's just, it makes the job so much easier. And see, just that quick, it's already back flat. But what I always do is double test everything to make sure it's fitting good. But I always come in and round off my post. And the reason I do that, it makes it, if I ever need to remove it, it's like if I built this for myself, for instance, and I put custom wheels on it, you know, real riders, whatever, and then, you know, years down I decide to repaint it or swap out the wheels because I get tired of how it looks. All I got to do is come in and take the screws out and swap out the wheels. That's simple. Now I know that you can do pretty much the same thing with the glue. You know, you just pop the base loose and the glue should come loose. But keep in mind that depending on what glue you use, that could be detrimental because it could actually cause you to break your base if you're dealing with a plastic base, trying to get it broke loose. That little bit's wanting to be kind of aggravating. Need to get me a new set of files. I've had these forever. There we go. She's gone now. That's why I left the wheels on it, so I could test fit everything. The wheels that I'm going to be putting on it, I know will work just fine, but you want it to go back together real easy. And see, that's enough to barely hold it, but it comes right apart. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's a perfect fit. And then once I strip the paint off of it, it'll be just a little bit looser. So, there's that. Now I'm going to put the screws in it. Man, I gotta get some more. I see that every video, but I got to get me some more. These screws serve several purposes. For those, again, that don't know, it helps give the helping hands something to hold on to when we're painting. And it also helps keep all the sister strip and leftover decal residue from other jobs and stuff like that. It just helps keep the holes cleaned out while we work on it. But that's why we do that. See, I'm getting a little got. Let's see. There's one car, there's 2 cars, 3 cars. I got enough to do 4 more cars. I have got to get some more ordered. Wow. Help! These screws, help! But after we do that, into the stripper, or North Carolina red clay as I call it. And I haven't looked on the instructions, but I've never really paid any attention. Are you supposed to dilute this stuff? And the reason I ask, because if you look at other people's channels like Paul Udelis over at Fat Man Productions and stuff, theirs looks orange and really, really clear and liquidy on top. See how mine looks? I'm gonna have to read it and see if you're supposed to dilute it at all. I never dilute it. But anyhow, just goes in and it sinks up really quick. Cover it back up 24 hours later, or you can let it sit in here a week. It doesn't matter. It won't hurt it. We'll be back to that at a later date. Specifically for me, it'll be tomorrow, because we're supposed to be getting snow. Let's see, today's Wednesday. We're supposed to be getting rain tomorrow, and then it's going to switch over to snow for Friday into Saturday. So I can't paint inside. I have to do my painting outside. So I'm going to set up something outside that's enclosed, put a heater out there and everything. That way I can paint out there. But anyhow, with that stated, I said I was going to show you how to do the wheels. If you buy your pack of these picks, I bought these at Home Depot. There's a pack of like 4 or 5 for like $3. You get a straight one, a hook one, and one like this that's bent. If you look, you got 3 plastic tabs, right? 2 on that one, 2 on that one, and typical 3 on that. Some people take a lighter and lightly heat it up, and then it pops right out because it makes that plastic really soft. I'll get it out in a second. But here's how I like to do it. I just pick up on one side with my finger. You can see they've got play in them. I pick up on one side, I take that hook, put it under there. Once I get it under there, I press down on one side while popping up, while rotating it. And it pops it right out. Same thing for the front. Okay. There's that side already out. Put it underneath. And they come out that easy. No struggling or anything. Now I've got some real riders that I'm going to be putting in this. I may, what I'll do is when it comes time, I'll take I have a small screwdriver, I'll put it in here. Let me show you. Just so you understand the full context. I have this small flathead screwdriver I'll take and stick in there, and I'll open those tabs up, put the new wheels in it, and I'll take the screwdriver and lightly bend it back over. And then I'll put a dab of super glue on there so I never have to worry about it. But that's all there is to removing the wheels from the Hot Wheels casting. Now this is ready to be primed, painted, whatever, but of course I will spray it down. If I'm going to prime it and paint it, I'll spray it with rubbing alcohol. If I'm going to be doing anything else, I'll be using super clean, spray it down, make sure I get all the grease off, which alcohol will basically do the same thing. It's just super clean is a lot stronger. And if you are any kind of customizer at all, whenever you take a car apart, you always save your wheels. Look at all them. That's how many cars I've taken apart so far. And I've only been really doing this since April of 21. So there's that. But whenever you're just doing, you know, random giveaway cars or want to paint wheels or something, you know, or you get a car and you're trying to restore it, you might actually have the restoration wheels on hand. You just might, because I've got them separated by 5 stars. The hubcap type from Matchbox, the Aero disc, the split 5s and whatever. Got the 4x4 ones, so on and so forth. The lace. I have gold lace, silver lace. But yeah, here's what I want to show you. I want to show you that you can get one of these containers from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Walmart, anywhere. That one I got from Dollar Tree is I did this one. Again, you save your wheels. There's the ones for the Flying Colors or Flying Customs. But here's the real riders. I've got chrome ones. I don't know if I'll be using chrome or if I will be using the black ones. I have some black ones in here somewhere. But anyhow, they're in there somewhere. So yeah, I say I've got all kinds. There's the front ones to that. Oh, the ones I want to show you up here too. So you have gold ones for gassers. I have chrome ones for gassers and I have black ones for gasser. I don't know if I'm going to be using the chrome or the black for this particular build. We'll have to see when we get there. Now, here's the idea for the paint job. I have some decals that I want to put on this, and they're Patriotic. And I was going to do a Patriotic paint job, but the decals have a little bit of a menacing look to them, so I want to do a little bit of a menacing paint job. So I'm going to do a 2-color fade on this, but not just 2-color fade. One of them is going to be with a candy paint, and then the other one is going to be with a transparent color. So the idea is do the base and the body completely in the first color, which is going to be my favorite, blood red. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna come back and do a fade over the back half of it with the secondary color. So that's the idea. Will it work? I don't know. At the very worst, it'll be a 2-color fade. The front half will be candy, the other one will be so dark you'll never know it was a transparent color. But I'm hoping that it works. So let's get started. There's the base, the body. I'm gonna start with the base like I always do, just to make sure everything's flowing good through the gun and all that stuff. At the base there, you can see it's been hit with the metallic silver also. Make sure the airbrush is working. Put in the paint. Like I said, that's my favorite. That's my blood red. Make sure it sprays out. And it does, so we're good to go. See how good that looks already. It's got kind of a pink tint to it. But that's not what we're going after. So I'm going to set this over to the side, let it dry for a few minutes, and then there it is in the sunlight. I'll get out of the way. We'll let that dry in the sunlight. Come back and put another coat on it. But while that is doing this thing, we'll do the body, because everything is working just fine. As always, I like to paint the insides and everything just like a regular real paint would, car would do. That way I'm not missing anything. Look how good that's looking already. Holy moly. That is looking so good. Cover that up, hit the base again. Time for a second coat on the body. As you can see, that's how it's starting off, but watch how it changes this next coat. Look at that. I think it'll need one more coat. And then we'll let it dry and come back with the black. Look how good that's looking. Wow. A nice wet coat on this time. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Woo-wee. I think we're going to stop with that because I don't want it to be really dark. I think we'll stop with that. And the thing is, the brighter the base, the brighter the final paint job. So I went over this real lightly with the metallic silver. I didn't go over it real heavy. That way it would have that deep, dark red color. But yes, sir, look at that. I love that color. So we're gonna sit there and let it dry. I'm gonna clean everything up, and then we'll come back with the second color. So one of the things I love about airbrushes is the ability to try new things, like this fade job. I mean, I know you could do that with a rattle can, but trying it with the translucent colors, transparent colors, I mean, look at that black. I put that black over the red, and in proper light, it looks like a black cherry. Just look how cool that looks. I kid you not, that is so cool. That's one of the things I love about having the airbrush. Getting to experiment and try new things. Well, we got this bad boy painted up, and I've got to tell you, I'm really digging this paint job. Here it is. I did the blood red candy 2.0 paint on the front, and I wanted this one to be a little darker than the bright red that I normally do. So when I did the base coat over the black, I went real light so that it had a darker tone to it, or a blacker chrome or blacker metallic look to it. Then I used the transparent black to go, I did the whole car, then I used the transparent black to go over for the fade. And I know it's really hard to tell it in here, so that's why I'm moving it around real slow, so maybe you can catch a glimpse of it. You can actually see through the black and see the red. I mean, it just turned out so great. I almost thought about, because if you remember, here's the interior. Let me grab it real quick. I almost thought about not putting decals on this. I really did, and I'm still fighting the urge to not do it. But if you remember, here's the interior. Painted the engine up, got the exhaust done, painted the interior, have the nitrous bottle in there, did a little bit of detailing on the dash and everything. But I mean, this joker just is going to look so good with that. So I started to just leave it like that and not put decals on it, but we're going to, at least right this second, we're going to. Let me show you the decals we're going to put on it. I wanted this to be when I saw these decals, I immediately thought of a paint job, and I thought I was going to do red, white, and blue because this is a patriotic style build. And you'll understand when you see the decals. But when I got the decals, I looked at them and I thought, you know, this bad boy is a little bit more menacing than just a patriotic decal. So I wanted a little bit more of a menacing paint job. That's why I went with this rather than doing the front in red, doing the back in the blue candy, and then painting the white roof. I decided to go with this. I wanted something a little bit more menacing. And by now, you know, you're probably wondering, well, this guy shut up and showed me the decals. So here you go. This is the decals I got for it. Look at them bad boys. As you can see, patriotic theme, but it has the Grim Reaper on there as the flag bearer. I think that is so cool, and I really like these decals. I really do. But I saw them before I ever decided the paint job. I really did. But then when I've got them, like I said, I decided on the paint job. Here's how it's going to look together. I mean, I think that will just look so good. I really do. I might be wrong. I should leave it without the decals, but we're going to put them on. But you know what we've got to do next, right? We have to cut these bad boys out. So I'm going to do a little magic here. There's the scissors. There's the decals. Now let's cut them out. And just like that, there they are. That was super quick and easy, wasn't it? Don't you wish all decals would come apart like that? But yeah, let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to put these up so I don't scratch anything or mess anything up. This is going to go on the top. And I hate to put it on the top because it's going to cover up some of that cool paint job that I put up there. But you'll still be able to see some of it around the flames. Excuse me. And then of course, I'll do this side so you can see it. It's already leaning, so this will go on right there. And then part of that decal will just fold over the door. Just lay up over that. And then we'll come back and hit it with the micro saw and make it lay down even flatter. So we got to get the water and stuff set up, get all of our goodies, paper towels and all that, but we'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm not going to use the micro set for the roof. I may use it on the side, but I'm not going to use it for the roof. I'm just going to use a little water for the roof, because that's really all I need. I'm going to put this more toward the back. Like so. Take our Q-tip. And start taking the water out. Now at this point, don't try to take every single one of the bubbles out because that just ain't going to happen. And as I see it now, what I should have done was just cut a big old square patch rather than trying to cut around the flames, because I'm afraid I might be able to see that when I paint it, but it's going to get 2 to 3 coats of clear on it, so we'll see how it comes out. We'll see. But we'll let that dry for 10-15 minutes. It's going to have a few bumps here and there, but that's the whole point of the micro saw. We'll come back with micro saw after we give the water a little time to dry out. But you just make sure you get as much of it as you can out. Then a lot of it will evaporate out, and then we'll hit it with the micro saw, and that'll just make it set that much more. Let's move on to the side. And this is the part that I've got to be honest about. I'm kind of torn on how I want to do this. I really am. because it has the peak of the flag, right? And that will fold over the door. But I don't know if I really want it to do that or not, you know. That's a lot of folding, and that's a lot of extra material. I don't know. We'll give it a try and see how it goes. Make sure everything's tight. Yeah, a little water on the side of the car. Alright, let's give it a quick once over. And it looks like everything has laid really flat. I don't see anywhere that I really need to put the micro saw except on the roof, because like I said, everything laid really flat. I am very tickled with the way that this turned out. But as you can see, I'm going to move it, and if you look right along this edge, you'll see a few places. And and there's one right there. That happens anytime you try to put a flat decal over a rounded surface. I am very surprised that these sides did as well as they did. I really am. I didn't expect that. But they laid over really good. And yes, I did clear coat these really good before I did it. So, I am looking at this really good, and I'm trying to pick it apart on the decals. Now, decals aren't perfect. They have their own issues. But with that stated, take the dry Q-tip and just push on some areas that I'm not sure about. Yeah, that's flat. That's the door handle. Well, actually, I am going to go ahead and put it on everything, because what the micro saw does, outside of removing bubbles and making the decals lay flat on curved surfaces, it also decreases the thickness, if you will, of that clear paper wherever you can see it. And like I said, in this case, you can see it really good right there where I cut around that. I should have just left it as a whole square and then trimmed it off and then laid the whole thing down. But I wasn't thinking. You know, it's one of those things that you live and learn. So it's been about, gosh, it's probably been 30 minutes since I applied these, because I caught up on my comments and my videos and all that stuff, and did a few other things. So I'm just going to dab this in here, and this is all you do to apply it. You just take it and make sure everything is wet. Like I said in another video before, you don't have to have it to where it's just dripping off of the car. You just basically just brush it on until the whole thing is wet. Okie dokie, it is time to do some final assembly on this bad boy, but I wanted to show you what all we did. As you remember, I painted the base, same color as the body, and as you can see, that bad boy is just sharp. Holy moly, that came out beautiful. Decided to go with gold rims again because it really accents this color. Chromed out the gas tank on the front. I still may paint these straps holding it down black. I don't know. We'll see after I get it put together. Here's the interior. I painted it the red over the chrome. I added a nitrous bottle to the back. Metal line. 3D printed steering wheel. Painted the shifter knob, because you got to have that big white Hurst shifter ball in a gasser. A little bit of chrome accents for the gauges and stuff. Did the engine up, gold tops, red valve covers, did the heat treatment, and gave it just a light black wash in the grill just for some contrast and something different. Looks really good on the base, as you can see. Get it where it's supposed to go, and you can see it even better if I didn't have it backwards. There we go. There's how it looks on the base. Looks really good. I like how it turned out and everything. But here's the body. You're going to really like this one. And I know most of the paint job is hidden by the decals, and I really started not to do the decals. I may, whenever I get some more gassers and stuff, I may come back and redo this paint job again and just do it without the decals, because I really like this car without the decals. But anyhow, we put decals on it, or I put decals on it, and here's how it looks. Look at that bad boy. I like that Grim Reaper with his American flag, and got the American flag head on and everything. I think that is just so cool. I did the tail lights, trying to hold it up to where you can see without making it too blurry. Got it laid out just right on both sides. Man, yes. 55 gasser, Harley Davidson, 327 engine. Did the headlights, and I still may, now this is still wet, but I still may go across the headlights with the black lines, kind of like they did in the day, taping it, That way if you hit anything, it wouldn't break the glass. But yes, look at that bad boy. Holy cow. That thing just looks so sharp. So sharp. But we got to get this bad boy together, so let's do it. I got to be careful because, like I said, the headlights and stuff, I just painted them. I don't think I run the risk of messing it up because I'm not going to be touching there, but you know how it is. Got to be careful anyway. Clear coat's dried for 2 days, so I don't have to worry about that. I've already cut the screws down, so I don't have to worry about that. And before I put this together and show you the final assembly, let me show you those decals again. How you like how I folded them over the doors? Rather than cutting them off, I folded them over and actually overlapped it into the inside. I did that on both sides. You can see it right there and right there. But look at how that paint looks, man. Oh my goodness. Okay. But while I assemble this, you will be getting to see the recap video. But here's what we started with, the Gusser Gasser. And I mean, it's a really cool casting the way it is. I wish I had more of them. This happens to be my very last gasser body that I have. Am I worried about it? No, because I know that this is one of their mainstays, so I know there'll be more of them coming out. But with that stated, I've got decals, I've got time, and I don't really have time, but I need to make me one, Anyhow, with all that stated, it turned out really good. This is what we started with again. Just overall nice casting. But as always, with any Hot Wheels, we can do better. Customizers or anybody in general, we can do a better job because we've got the wheels and know-how and all that great stuff to do this, to make it look better. And with that stated, here's what we ended up with. I'd like to thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you like how it turned out, because I do.